In 1969, a Stanford University psychologist named Philip Zimbardo conducted an interesting field study. He abandoned a car in a rundown town in New York City that was poor, dangerous, and had high crime rates. He also left a similar car in Palo Alto, California, an area considered well off with less crime. The number plates were removed in both vehicles and the hood was left open. For the car in New York, it wasn't long after 10 minutes that it was vandalized. Windows were broken and parts were taken or damaged. The vehicle in Palo Alto, however, remained untouched for 2 weeks. Philip then smashed the car with a sledgehammer. Not long after, passersby also started damaging and vandalizing the vehicle. Philip Zimbardo concluded that in high crime rate areas where abandoned property is common, vandalism and theft occur more often as the community doesn't care much about it. But even in nice neighborhoods, the same behavior can occur once people start to think others don't care. Harvard political scientist James Wilson and criminologist George Kelling later popularized the theory in a 1982 article in the Atlantic newspaper, in what is now known as the broken window effect. In the article, they describe a building with a broken window. If the building is left unrepaired, passersby will conclude that no one is in charge of it or cares about it. As a result, there's a tendency for vandals to break a few more windows. Graffiti might then start to appear. Eventually, they might even break into the building. James and George argued that a city with minor crime and antisocial behavior like graffiti, panhandling, and public disorder are broken windows. If the police don't address them, they can slowly turn a well-off neighborhood into a run-down one and attract major crime such as murder, rape, and robbery. But also the opposite can be said, that a city ridden with severe crimes can be made safer by focusing on the more minor offences. The most notable application of the broken window effect was in New York City under Police Commissioner Bill Bratton and Mayor Rudy Giuliani. When Rudy Giuliani became mayor of New York in 1993, he faced a city with decades of high crime rates that seemed like it would never go down. According to disastercenter.com, in 1993, there were over 2,400 murders, over 5,000 cases of rape, and over 100,000 robberies. Police had always focused on large-scale or severe crimes such as murder, rape, and robbery. However, they were finding it wasn't effective. In 1994, New York's police commissioner, Bill Bratton, adopted the broken window theory and channeled police resources to clean up low-level crime and antisocial behavior to see if it would reduce violent crime. They started with cleaning the subway by removing graffiti on the trains and sending hundreds of police to crack down on fare beaters and vandals. The policy later extended to the rest of New York City, with the police targeting unsolicited windscreen cleaning, prostitution, and drunk and disorderly behavior. What they found was high crimes were dropping. In 1995, murder had dropped from 2,420 to 1,550, rape from 5,008 to 4,290, and assault from over 100,000 to about 70,000. And by 1999, there was a 40% drop in overall crime, and serious crimes like murder plummeted by over 50%. So the impact of the policy change appeared to be very dramatic and was hailed as a success. The broken window theory was widely used but also widely criticized. Observers point out that the policy heavily impacted underprivileged or minority ethnic groups such as African Americans and Latin Americans. While poor African Americans might be jailed for jaywalking and drunkenness, a group of recently graduated Caucasian students drinking on the street weren't. It was up to the police discretion to unjustly focus on racial or class bias. Many scholars also critiqued that there's no clear link between the lack of order and crime. They explained that during the same time in the 1990s, there was economic growth and reduced poverty in the country. As a result, there was less need to commit crime. Therefore, it was just coincidental that crime went down around the same time the broken window policy was introduced. While the theory is used to explain decay in neighborhoods, it can actually apply to anything where neglect can attract other damaging behavior, which then can eventually deteriorate into something that's not easily repairable. In our lives, we can have broken windows. It can be a repair needed in the house, a cluttered workspace, mistrust in a relationship, or health-related issues. For each of these, if we continue to neglect them, it can attract even more neglect and have a snowball effect, leading to something costly to fix or a relationship or health issue that's difficult to resolve. During the COVID lockdown, I made lots of purchases online. This included toilet paper, baby toys, gadgets, and other things. I would open a few boxes and then put the rest in the corner to sort later. Or I would take out the main part but leave the instruction booklets inside. Each day, I would walk past it and I would say I would clean it tomorrow, but I never did. So the pile grew and it's still there even after COVID lockdown. Not only that, I would now put other things there, making it even messier, and it would take even more time to clean up. It would have been easier if I had just opened the box, taken out the goods, and thrown away the box straight afterwards. Health-related issues are another broken window in life. For me, it started with a few biscuits while working each day, which then became a bad habit. Over a few months, I gained a couple of kilos. I knew I had to address this quickly, otherwise it would be much harder to control later. And the weight gain wasn't the only issue. I just regularly felt more tired and stressed out easier. So now, instead of reaching out for a biscuit, I will take a short walk to get a break instead. This refreshes my mind, and I avoid snacking, which helps me maintain my weight. Too many apps on your phone, TV shows, and games to play? Or do you have just too many things? Having too many things to think about can create mental clutter and stop you from thinking straight, reducing productivity, and adding stress. I had too many apps on my phone, and they weren't just adding mental clutter, but they were addictive and stealing precious time and energy. So I ended up going cold turkey and uninstalling all social apps, video streaming app, games, and a few productivity apps that I didn't really need. The results? I still watch movies, but only on the weekends. I still use social media apps, but much less, and spending more time with my children and having time to get back to creating digital art and blogging instead. The broken window theory is a type of negative feedback loop. As you neglect something, it can lead to more neglect, but it can also act as a positive feedback loop. For example, consider a neighborhood nature strip that is well maintained. If one person does it, others might feel it's important to also keep their lawn clean, which then further encourages others to also keep their property looking good. Take a step back in your life and see if you have broken windows. Are there any small things you've neglected in your life, work, or relationship that could become a big issue later? Addressing these early while they're still small can reduce future stress and costs and ultimately lead to a more productive, easier, and overall happier life. Thank you again for watching. If you have any feedback, please don't forget to leave them in the comment section below, and I'll see everyone later.